Welcome to the SLT3 Complete Operational Guide. We'll be going over the operations of the transmitter that can also be found in the manual. On the bottom of the transmitter is the battery compartment. Inside the compartment, there is a positive and negative marking to show the battery orientation. To power on the SLT3, depress the power button on the back until it clicks in place. To power off the SLT3, depress the button again until it clicks off. The battery LED, as shown here for the SLT3, will be solid red if there is adequate battery power. If this LED is flashing red, then it indicates it is time to change the transmitter batteries. With the SLT facing you, if you turn the wheel to the left, it will cause the vehicle to steer left. Turning the wheel to the right will cause the vehicle to steer right. By pulling back on the trigger, this will cause the vehicle to go forward. If we push the trigger forward, this will cause the vehicle's brakes to engage. We will then need to go back to neutral and push trigger back forward to cause the vehicle to go in reverse. The SR dial is the steering rate. By adjusting this dial counterclockwise, this will decrease the steering radius. By turning this clockwise, this will increase the steering radius. The TH dial is the ESC trim. If the vehicle is going forwards or backwards on its own, adjust this dial until the vehicle is back in neutral. The ST dial is the steering trim. If the vehicle is turning to one side on its own, you can rotate the dial the opposite direction until the wheels are pointing forward. The ST-R switch is the servo reversing switch. This will allow you to flip the servo direction if the steering wheel and servo are operating in the opposite direction. The TH-R switch is the ESC reversing switch. This will allow you to flip the ESC direction if the vehicle is going in the opposite direction of the trigger movement. The TH/LM switch is the throttle limit switch. This will allow you to select 50, 75, or 100% throttle. This is good to use in learning a vehicle or helping others understand a vehicle before going to full throttle. Using the SLT3 model SPMR SLT320 version, this can be programmed to run an axial or proboat vehicle, as well be left in open stock mode for the Channel 3 operation. For the SLT3 Channel 3 control for an axial vehicle such as a Capra or AX24, please refer to the vehicle manual to prep it for its bind procedure. With the vehicle bind started, we can now do the SLT3 bind. We need to set the throttle limit switch to 50%, then hold the B button while powering on, and at the end you will see the light start to blink a few times to confirm it is finished bind. Using the A and B buttons, we can now test the four-wheel steer of the vehicle. To use the SLT3 with the proboat recoil 26, please refer to the proboat boat manual to put the boat into bind mode. With the recoil in bind mode, we can now on the SLT3 set the throttle limit switch to 75% and then hold the B button while powering on. You will see the light start to blink to confirm the bind has completed. The steering servo travel can be adjusted to suit different vehicles. What this means is if the steering turning one way or both ways is causing the tires to impact the chassis or other components, we can lower the travel to prevent this from happening. To adjust the steering servo travel, we first need to set the arrow points of the ST dial to match the dot on the transmitter, where this would be at the 12 o'clock position. We then need to set the TH limit switch to 100, set the SR dial to full clockwise, and on the SLT3, we will hold full brake and full right wheel while powering it on. We can then power on the vehicle, turn the wheel full left. Using the A and B buttons, you can change the endpoint. We will then turn the wheel to the right, using the A and B buttons again to change that endpoint. Release the wheel and let it go to neutral, and then we will power off the vehicle, power off the SLT3. This concludes the SLT Complete Guide, and we thank you for watching.